As compared with the ministry of the deities in the grand universe, this absonite function is the master universe, in the master universe, is tantamount to universal over-control and super-sustenance, sometimes called the ultimacy of deity. Remember, we're trying to get to the absolute that has nothing to do with time and space. So we have to get beyond time and space, and this beyond is where we're at right now. It's tantamount to universal over-control and super-sustenance. It's not the completion by any means, but it at least gets us into where we're supposed to be going. Again, if we can combine all of our efforts in unification in the Supreme, they combine all their efforts in the unification of the ultimate. Putting all that together, the two of us, we might be able to make a dent into the absolute, and that's what we're supposed to be going. So the finite level of reality is characterized by creature life and time-space limitations. It's well to understand that when we talk about spirituality, talk about deity activities, it's referring to things that he is doing down here on our levels of existence, not something he's doing way out in space. He's doing it where we are. So it's characterized by creature life and time-space limitations. Limitation is an important word there because that is where we come from. We're going to be perfecting creatures, to be perfected. We don't start from perfect and stay in perfect. That is already done. That's a level of heaven, as we call it, Havona, the paradise level. That's not our level. We have to come from imperfection to go to perfection. So imperfection comes at the very instant of creation. It's part and parcel of it. It is the experience we go through to get rid of imperfection. Be perfect as I am perfect. He knows we're not perfect to begin with. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. Pretend like we're perfect. We know we're imperfect and go from there. The deity level of supremacy may be conceived as a function in relation to finite existences. It means that everything that's going to be finite, anything in time and space, is contained under this finite level. He goes on then to explain what he means by absonite level of reality. That's characterized by things and beings without beginnings or endings, and by the transcendence of time and space. Beings without beginnings. You have to use your own imaginations really on how to conceive of these beings beyond our concept. They call them evolutionary, eventuational creatures. We are evolutional, they are eventuational. They're not created. They didn't have a beginning like us. And I guess we can conceive of something like, if you're a father, the eventuation of that is there has to be a son, a child. Eventuates the concept of that. Of course, the child comes to the father, but the relationship of sonship eventuates from that all. It's something like that anyway, I think. They're eventuated. They simply are. Same way when God said, let us make the universes in our image, the architects were there. It was eventuated from that. They didn't have to be created. When he mentioned the plan, made the plan, they simply were. They simply are. So these beings in that realm of the absonite, it's going to be the first, second, third, and fourth outer space levels will be eventuated beings. That means they will not have gone through the experience of time and space. They will be deficient. In the way they explain throughout the book here is that will be up to us to explain to them what it means to have participated in the actualization of the Supreme Being by time-space experience. It's very important what we're going through for the fulfillment of God's whole plan. He cannot do without the experiences of creatures, as we can't do without his experience. If we were all to go on strike, the whole program would close down. But luckily, the planner God will not go on strike. The creatures involved in this will continue to see it and continue to progress in it, which hopefully we will do also. So this deity level of ultimacy connotes a function in relation to absonite realities. beings who are neither finite nor absolute. They're in between. No matter in what part of the Master Universe, whenever time and space are transcended, such an absonite phenomenon is the act of the ultimacy of deity. So that explains those two things. And it says that the absolute level is completely beginningless, it's endless, it's timeless, it's spaceless. It can exist well without any of these things, without any beginnings, endings. It is totally beyond it. And the indication in the book is that if we can find a vehicle to get into that realm of activity, we will get to experience God pretty much as he experiences himself. For example, on Paradise, time and space are non-existent. To conceive of that is very difficult, but we can get a conceptual idea because the concepts are there. Think of time and space, and then erase them, and that's where Paradise is. Time-space status of Paradise is absolute. I don't understand that term. I'm sure many of you might. If you do, the purpose of this video is to give kind of a skeleton idea of the foreword. If you can conceive of examples to make sense of these terms, use them for your own explanation and to help others also. This level of Trinity is attained existentially. Existential is compared with experiential. Existential means it has always been. It's attained by the Paradise deities. But this third level of unifying deity expression is not fully unified experientially. Not fully. It's already started. The mobilization of the four outer space levels is in progress. It has been in progress. And I suspect in progress before even our levels were. It's a much huger enterprise than what we have. So it's this third level. So we have those three levels of unifying deity expression. God realizing himself through his creation down here. These are experiential levels. All three levels here. Finite level, absolute level, and absolute. No, absolute level, I'm sorry. Absolute level is not really, what did I say? Experiential. God the Absolute will be experiential. God the Absolute is an experiential deity. Because what we're trying to do is actualize the potential of total deity. Total deity potential is the deity absolute. We're trying to actualize all of that through God's plan here. So I figure out for yourself what that absolute here means, if you can. I'm stammering over it. Anyhow, this level of Trinity is attained existentially by the Paradise deities. We're not there yet fully unified experientially. We will never, we as creatures, will never become existential. That is a position that had been taken existentially long, infinite times ago. It cannot be done by anything created. Anything sub-absolute will never be existential. The best we can do is become experiential, but we're trying to experientialize that level of the absolute. If we can, we'll still only be experientially realizing that, never existentially. That cannot possibly be done. Whenever, wherever, and however the absolute level of deity functions, Paradise absolute values and meanings are manifest. That's the end of page 2. We'll go on to some definitions